Good evening, everyone, and welcome to an especially live edition of WMSE's Local Live, broadcasting tonight live from Anodyne Bruce in beautiful Walker's Point. My name is Matt. This is Sid, and you, our beautiful Anodyne audience, give yourselves a big round of applause. Thank you for being here tonight. Tonight's show is also being live streamed. You can watch along at WMSE.org, as well on WMSE's Facebook page and YouTube channel.
Tonight's guest is Motel and Breakfast. They just recently released their live album from Lincoln Hall in Chicago.
Now, Motel Breakfast, as you may or may not know, has some members here in Milwaukee. It also has some members in Chicago, so I'm very, very interested in asking them about some recently breaking Milwaukee, Chicago news. I don't know what that would be, but maybe we'll get to that. But before we do, let's do some music. Local Live is presented by Third Space Brewing. Please, now, give a warm welcome to our musical guest tonight, Motel Breakfast.
You know I asked a lot of questions. The answers you gave left me cold. I was asking for disaster. I needed a break to feel more whole. Oh. While we tune up a little bit, I'll just say that we are very, very excited to be here. We're going to be playing some old tunes. That last one was off of our debut album back in 2020. We put that out. And this next one will be on the forthcoming album coming next year, and it's called Lit a Match. Lit a match, put it out, struck a different mood. Stumbled forward the door, kinda lost its groove. You're feeling different now, it's gripping now. I wanna relate, but if we're texting, then the message gets a little delayed. Ha! Running out in the heat while the sun goes down, alternating between feeling like a clown and feeling great. I know my place is so composed and right. If we just wait, we'll set it straight. But I can't talk right now. No, I can't talk right now. Baby, we gotta cool it down. Sweat it drips from my skin to an asphalt road. If you could read my mind, then my fears would show. I really hate I can't evade the cycles of your kiss. My mind hates needing you, but needing is what you wanna hear. Yeah, it's what you wanna hear. Baby, you can make it more clear. I really mean it, my dear. I don't mean to sound insincere.
so long now. So long, so long now. Leaves around the trees are falling. My car winding through the green. I've been driving so long, so long, so long. Oh no, so long. I'll sit right here, you'll be there for now. We'll come How can I accept the feeling? I've been talking all around the hole that you're in, falling so long, so long now. So long, so long. Every time that you say love me, I don't have the time, but you went far and I can't follow you. So long, so long now. So long, so long. I'll sit right here, you'll be there for now. We'll come
For those who have tuned in right now, you are tuned into Local Live from Anodyne, and that was Motel Breakfast.
Woo. Can we just skip the part where we ask them questions and just keep Have them keep playing. I don't know. We
know.
don't need any questions, anything from us. But no, that was fantastic.
We have to touch on that hot button issue a little bit later, so
We'll get there.
We'll get there. Please, Motel Breakfast, introduce yourselves.
Yeah, so I am Jimmy Dranowski. I am primarily the lead singer. And to my right, your left, is Mick O'Donnell. He is primarily our lead guitarist.
I'm Drew DeVenti, and I'm primarily the bass player, and sometimes they let me sing, like the last song. Sure. And this is Connor Brennan, primarily our keys player, all kinds of keys.
And I'm Jesse.
So you guys have been together since 2017, and you're young when you got together. I mean, not that you're still not young, you are, but I would feel like a lot of personal growing would happen during that time, along with your songwriting and trying to keep the band together. I feel like there might be some conflict. Maybe you got along peacefully the entire time, but like, what is the secret to Motel Breakfast keeping it together?
That's a good question. High Life, Miller High Life. Honestly, kind of determination and feeling like, for me at least, since the start of this band, we all lived in different cities. I was going to school at Marquette here in Milwaukee. Mick and Drew were in Madison, going to UW-Madison. Con and Jess were living down in Chicago. And so we kind of had to decide that making music with this group of people was worth the 3-hour drives, was worth the little practice, was worth, like, what we were doing felt special enough to be putting all that energy in. And that, for me, has been the driving force. I don't know if anyone else.
I just add that we're all best friends first before musicians in a band, so that makes it easy. It's not a Fleetwood Mac situation.
Yeah, let's give a hand to friendship. There we go. Well, it's impressive because, I mean, I know bands that, like, all, 5, 6, 4 members live here in Milwaukee, and it's, like, a pain to get people driving, from one end of town to the other. You guys are hoofing it, across state lines. Talk about the logistics of that. Like, you mentioned kind of these short practices, these 3-hour drives. What are the logistics? Are you getting together every week, every month? How does that work?
I have no idea what the concept of regular practice is. That has never existed. And, like, it forged a lot of chemistry between us because, like, practice was, hey, I'll get into town in enough time for us to spend a few hours before we go to the show. And slowly over time, a lot of it became, oh, we have to set aside this weekend just to prepare to go to the studio, just to finish those songs. Like, a lot of intentional effort, saying no to normal things with our day-to-day life so that we can actually say, no, I'm going to spend that weekend holed up in Jesse's brother's basement just trying to figure out the 18 songs we think we like.
Does Jesse's brother's basement get props on any of your albums?
Yes.
He has a framed album in his house. He's very proud to let us live in his house because none of us own a house with a basement. That is fact. And so, I mean, honestly, we have a lot of family and friends that are really important as far as logistics go. Lots of cars. Our first little EP was titled Weekends and Holidays because we could only play music on weekends and holidays because we lived in 3 different cities. So yeah, just a lot of like Tuesday nights, Connor and I driving to Madison from Chicago, and then driving home at 2 in the morning. So
Our running joke is that we're probably the only bands that shows up with 5 different cars. We're like the least green band of all time.
The carbon footprint of this band is just off the charts.
Let's not talk about
Yeah,
the carbon
don't.
footprint of this
No,
band.
yeah, sorry.
Got that.
Now, I mentioned this earlier. I don't know if any of you are baseball fans. I mean, we have to ask this question since you have members in Milwaukee and Chicago. I assume the band has been torn asunder by news that former Brewers manager Craig Counsell is now going to be the manager of the Chicago Cubs. How does the band feel about this shocking news?
I would imagine that this is the first time that Jim, Mick, and Connor are all hearing that.
Hey, I heard about it. I scrolled past it on Instagram.
none of us are particularly baseball fans. Drew and I are pretty big hockey fans, so as far as baseball goes, it's none of my business, you know? That's,
I hope they all have fun.
yeah.
Good. All right. Well,
I was raised a Sox fan, but that's it.
okay. Just had to get it out there. I'm glad.
I mean,
Thank you.
I grew up a really big Cubs fan, but for perspective, when Craig Counsellor was like first brought on as the Brewers, it's not. Wow. What is
Craig
his name?
Counsell.
Oh man.
Just counsel. Yeah.
Jim definitely heard the news.
I'm just gonna stop. I'm not gonna go any further with that anecdote. I don't pay attention anymore. Is the point?
So you just released this live record. You released Why from Lincoln Hall, and Why at This Juncture, a live album.
Why not?
It sounded really good. We were able to record it when we played, and playing Lincoln Hall in Chicago. I don't know if anyone's been there, but it was definitely a milestone for us. And we were able to record it, and the recording sounded better than we maybe thought it would. So we said, why not release it? You know?
Yeah, I think like the way it actually fell together is a videographer came to the show who just like was excited about us, and so he got a bunch of footage, and we were really stoked to put something out. And so we said, all right, we'll get a couple of these songs mixed, whatever you have footage of. And then when we started hearing the mixes back, we were amazed at how good they sounded. So we said, why not put out a whole album? We always thought we sounded better live.
Very cool. Very
Yeah, I was
cool.
going to ask about that. You hear that from so many bands. Like, if we could just capture what we sound like live. So that was kind of the feeling here. Like, this record kind of got your sound. Is that right?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, yeah, it's kind of cliche, but like Jim mentioned, you know, we didn't have the regular practice historically and things like that. So we're more comfortable live for the most part.
Our selling point is the live chemistry, not that we are musical savants or anything like
None
that.
of us are that good.
Well, speaking of playing live, I think it's time for your second set. Ladies and
Cool.
gentlemen, Motel Breakfast.
Standing at a crossroads, caught between steel and earth, the promise of a change, wondering my worth. Blood will always follow, use it to dye the bricks, disregard the inward laughter, wipe off all that stale lipstick. Winter came and went, but I'm still feeling cold. Put your elbows on the table, no matter what you're told. 3 nails through each palm and a screw into each leg. Wrap my body in cheap fabric, for now it's time to beg. Baptized in gray water and raised on tainted land, the world grew up around me with a rage beneath the sand. Blame fate and thank the Lord, the bricks were bound to fall. 'Cause no matter how long I listen, I will never, ever, ever hear the call. hide your treasures under sand. Scan horizons for the land and crawl. Don't hold your breath for God's plan. Can't rely on some old man to provide direction and the call. Wrap 3 fingers of your hand. Hide your treasures under sand. Scan horizons for the land and crawl. Don't hold your breath for God's plan. Can't rely on some old man to provide direction and call. I will never hear the call. I will never hear the call. I will never hear the call. I won't ever hear the call. I'm sick of running on empty. Feel like my plate's always full. I got the letter you sent me. It made my eyes kinda glow. Don't worry, I'm gonna get back. Give it a little more time. I haven't felt like I could sit to gather all my thoughts right. I believe there's an answer somewhere hidden, stuck between my pen and the words unwritten. Trust me, baby, I'm gonna get an answer. Give me just a little more time. I'm sorry I couldn't be there. I know you'd look good in white. I can't blame you for changing. Don't worry, I'll be alright. I can't place when we last spoke. Can't remember the time. You got busy with grad school, and I got busy with life. I believe there's an answer somewhere hidden, stuck between my pen and the words unwritten. Trust me, baby, I'm gonna get an answer. Give me just a little more time. Maybe I'll try getting sober. Could even move out of town. I've heard good things about Pittsburgh. Could put my roots in the ground. If I do get a new address, I hope you don't change yours. But then again, you said change is what you're looking for. We said we'd try again next year. I think we lied to ourselves. If I don't see you this summer, still hope you're doing well. I think I'm starting to realize it can be good to lose touch. Maybe we met at the wrong time. Maybe the time was enough. There's an answer somewhere hidden, stuck between my pen and the words unwritten. Trust me, baby, I'm gonna get an answer. Give me just a little more time. I believe there's an answer somewhere hidden, stuck between my pen and the words unwritten. Trust me, baby, I'm gonna get an answer. Give me just a little more time. Give me just a little more time. Give me just a little more time. The leaves turn black this year, and I don't know what that means. Been trying hard lately to make sense of my dreams. I'm digging deeper when the surface still ain't clean. I'm in over my head. Future loves I wanna chase, past ideas I can't quite place. Can't tell if any that'll come to realize that these wheels just spin, and there ain't no stopping them. Hung my head on the idea of loving someone else today. Soon, of course, I turn the corner, 'cause, well, who am I to say? Seen we clamor for the next chance we get to lose our head in the vices that we see. We're just passing time till death. Think it's too late to get out of my head. Out of my head. I'm sorry, babe, I think it's time that I apologize. Been a little caught up lately with just living in my mind. Nothing new, you know, that I come to realize that these wheels just spin, and there ain't no stopping them. Thank you, thank you.
Motel Breakfast live on WMSC's Local live tonight from Anodyne on Bruce and Walker's Point. Now, I believe that last song that we heard, My Head, am I correct? From your first album, self-titled album that came out. I want to ask you about when this album came out. And one day, I look forward to never having to ask bands about the pandemic again, but your first record was released in early 2020, February or so, January, February?
February 2020. We released the record, I believe, on February 7th. We played album release shows on February 27th and 28th and March 12th. Actually, our last show before the world really shut down was at, it was called the Pab's Tap Room back then. I don't know if it's reopened under a new
I
name
think it's
now.
Central Waters now.
That's right.
Yes, okay. Yeah, so that was, I have vivid memories of talking to Mick in our apartment on Brady Street before it, like, there's no way it's this bad. It's not gonna be this bad, right? And then we barely left the apartment for the coming year.
But one positive came out of that. Didn't you do a big fundraiser for Feeding America, or Feeding America?
Yes. Mick was working at Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. And so we felt, obviously we had a lot of...
Give it up for Feeding America, Eastern Wisconsin.
Yes, give it up for Feeding America.
They do good work.
So we obviously had a lot of energy coming out of our album release, and we're ready to play a ton of shows, and had nothing to do with it. So we decided to set up a live stream show, very rudimentary. We didn't play into any like microphones or anything like that. We just propped my iPhone up on a couple books, and we got hammered on a live stream and raised as much money as we could, and I think we got over $5,000 for Feeding America.
Good job.
There you go.
That was a special way to handle the pandemic. I was really proud of that.
Now, how did the kind of early days of the pandemic affect kind of the band? I mean, practices already with you guys spread out are kind of different. So how did the pandemic affect that sort of thing? Obviously, you weren't playing live. I mean, were you practicing at all? I mean, the live stream obviously was a big success.
I think it kind of played. We took a lot of positives out of that. Before that, most of our music was just written by Jim and Mick. They were the primary songwriters. And like during the pandemic, I think everybody else kind of found their songwriting kick. And so then we released a little EP where we all wrote a song on it. And now this upcoming album, it's spread out. So yeah, I think it was like a time for us to all write music together, literally sending voice memos back and forth. I am certainly not particularly musical. That's why I play the drums. You just got to count to 4. So I will hum things and send them to Drew, and he will make things. And we were able to piecemeal a lot of things. So yeah, I think we took a lot of benefits from it.
Very cool. Well, okay, I'm going to change the subject just a tiny bit. Thanksgiving is around the corner. And I'm from the East Coast, and the weird thing that I found at the Midwestern table was the thing called fluff, which is like this weird whipped cream thing. Is there any weird tradition that any of your families have during the Thanksgiving holiday?
I think Mick's family, probably not weird, but unique and cool. Mick's family, prior to Thanksgiving, does a thing called Polish Thanksgiving, and it was just this past Saturday. And so it's just, I don't know if anyone can give a good explanation other than early Saturday.
That's just another excuse to day drink and eat a bunch of food. So Mick's mom cooks food for like 60 people, and Mick keeps inviting more and more people. Yeah, as far as food goes, I don't have anything crazy. We're pretty boring on our end, but we all go to Polish Thanksgiving, so we look forward to that every year.
I think that counts. Now, we should talk about some upcoming shows for you all. I just saw today that you were added on the one of the big solo reunion shows at the Cactus Club. That's coming up, speaking of Thanksgiving, I think that's
Yes, it is.
Thanksgiving
Right
or Black
weekend.
Friday, one of those
The
days.
Saturday after.
Are you guys, do you know Solo? I mean, they kind of like loom large in recent Milwaukee music history, and it's cool to see you playing with that group.
Yeah, so when I moved to Milwaukee in 2014 for school, they were kind of the first thing. I mean, they owned Milwaukee music scene around the mid 2010s, and I like globbed onto them and was like, you guys are amazing. Why is this scene not getting more of a spotlight? It was like a very invigorating thing to be, to find a band like Solo and say, this is a scene I want to be a part of. So they were a really big deal for me back then, and I met them a couple times before they called it quits. But then through random friend-of-friend connections, my best friend from Marquette, who's a photographer that we work with a lot, Mike Hines, he ended up currently lives with the bassist Sam of Solo out in Brooklyn or in Queens. And so our worlds just kind of got a little tighter linked through that. And so Sam, I was really stoked when he got my number through Mike and asked if we would want to join the bill.
Yeah, it's an exciting reunion. I think both shows sold out pretty quickly. So yeah, congrats. That's a great gig. Anything else kind of on the horizon for live shows? You also mentioned a new record. Yeah, let's maybe talk about that.
Yeah, so new record's not technically announced, but that'll be out in the spring next year. Before then, we got one show at Reggie's in Chicago. That's on December 15th, if I'm not correct. And honestly, between here and like April, I think we're playing in Milwaukee probably another 3 or 4 times that just aren't really announced yet. So we're lucky enough to hop on bills with a bunch of bands we really love. But yeah, kind of taking it easy a little bit until album release there in the spring.
How do folks find out about your upcoming shows and more about you?
Follow at Motel Breakfast anywhere you follow accounts. And we'll be announcing in the new year a lot of stuff with the new album. We're very, very excited. We're trying to do it bigger than we ever have. we also are still just 5 guys that have no idea what they're doing. So follow and tell your friends about it.
You also have a website that has video and music and
We
everything.
do. Motelbreakfast.org. Thank you, Sid. I need
Yes.
media training.
Yeah, it's also motelbreakfast.org because we owned the .com, then we let it expire and somebody bought it and tried to sell it back to us for like $5,000. And so we took .org. Who knows? I didn't think we could do that, but we did.
Where does motel breakfast mean?
Nothing.
Okay, good.
We didn't want to be named with the something, and we wanted a name that was easily Googleable, and a name that felt evocative, like it brought imagery to your mind, but also not too much imagery. And it kind of just, when we Googled Motel Breakfast, there were a couple guys complaining about their Motel 6s, and that was about it. So we thought, that sounds good.
Just lump us with those guys.
Yeah,
and,
it's
like,
kind of the
we're-
vibe you want to go for. Yeah, just
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think we're ready for your final set of the night. I hope you're ready.
Thank you guys. Appreciate this.
Everyone, Motel Breakfast.
I can't wait much longer. I need you in my arms. Oh, I'll bring the wine. You can give me shelter. Just fine. We'll get along. 3 weeks now, falling in love, living in the TV screen. I told myself this could never happen, never For anyone in the live audience that's interested in supporting us financially, we have some merchandise over there. And anyone on the radio or online who's interested in supporting us financially, we have merchandise at motelbreakfast.org.
Media training between those two things.
I'm a fast learner. I am trying to wash the dirt off my hands, but I'm not doing so well. I've been looking for direction, but the signs keep pointing back to hell. I've been staring at every map. I've been looking towards every screen. I've been washing my hands all damn day. I just gotta get them clean. God is clean. See, I heard you've been doing fine. I heard you're wearing a little more black. You bought a pair of combat boots and finally got that cat. Maybe in these next few months I'll figure out how to get out of my head. I'll be better 'cause I knew you. You'll be better without me instead. Maybe in 8 months, maybe 18, I'll run into you at the bar. I'll say I'm here with someone else. You'll say I've gotta get to my car. I'll take a shot. You'll run for cover. Nights will come to our separate ends. We might run into each other, but it's okay, babe. We don't gotta be friends. Lately I keep catching myself, scratching my head and clutching my chest. Can't tell if I think my mind is right. Can't seem to catch my breath. I've been talking through the colors. I've been pointing each one out. It helps to dampen the noise inside my head. Yeah, I'm starting to figure it out. See, just last week I opened up a book, pointed my finger at the page. As I sat there with my eyes closed, I decided that's how they'll stay. I closed the book, I stood up, I stopped waiting for your call. Because the pump was never the pump. It was the choice to pump it
Thank you guys.
There you have it, Motel Breakfast. Thank you, gentlemen. That was fantastic. And thank you, Anodyne, for showing up tonight. What a beautiful, lovely crowd we have this evening. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Tonight's edition of Local Live was broadcast and live streamed from Anodyne on Bruce and Walker's Point. Local Live is a production of 91.7 FM WMSE, produced by music director Sid, that's her, and Milwaukee Records, Matt Wild, that's me. Audio and video engineering by Neverland Productions, all graphics by Urchrock Design, band hospitality by Transfer Pizza. Local Live is presented by Third Space Brewing. One more time for Motel Breakfast. Thank you, gentlemen.
Find upcoming guests and archives of past Local Live segments at WMSC.org and tune in next week at 6 p.m. where Matt and I will be hosting the Millbillies, who are just about to drop a new record live from the WMSC studios. Stay tuned for more info about our next live from Anodyne show on December 3rd with Hungry Williams here at Anodyne. Thanks, everyone. Good night.